All right, folks, welcome back to the janitor's closet here as we are celebrating yet another winning week in our show plays here on YouTube. Mr. Josh Frey-Sam, we're show plays went 3-1 last week. Overall record went 4-3. A little slow out of the gates on the X plays, not a big deal. We're still going to bump up our record for our season total. We hit the 50 win mark officially, 51, 36 and 2, 58%, plus 15.4 units on the season for those keeping track at home, staying faithful to the program. We appreciate your support. And we got 6 more picks for the folks this week, week 16, and a happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus, whatever you're celebrating, folks. We're happy you're doing it with us this week.
Yes,
You're
sir.
getting some time off work, you're getting some time with the family, a great slate of games for your holidays this lovely winter. So we're gonna keep you entertained, keep you sweating. Maybe you're reaching for a little bit of that Christmas turkey and maybe keeping a little bit of a side eye on the games. We got everything covered for you here, Josh. This is going to be a lot of fun this week.
Dude, I don't even know how to follow up that intro. That was special. That was a special intro. I like it. Yeah, man. We got a great slate. Like Christmas season, man. The way this slate has literally worked out has been unreal. Like we obviously got Thursday night football on right now, the night of recording, and then got a couple on Saturday. But nice big slate on Sunday, and obviously capping it off with three on Monday, which is unreal. And with that, I mean, we got. I think it's tied for our biggest show card on the season. Let me just also add before we get into the plays here. You mentioned 3-1 on the show plays last week. For those that have been just following us, even though we've been harping on just begging people to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter. For those who have just dug their heels into the ground and stayed here on YouTube, you've been rewarded actually quite nicely for your stubbornness. With 14-3, we have been on these show plays since American Thanksgiving. We are hitting at over 82% since American Thanksgiving on this show right now, man. And then obviously we add a little bit of juice through Twitter, through X there, and overall records since that time, American Thanksgiving, we are 21-9, hitting at a 70% clip right now. We are getting hot at the right time right now as we head into playoffs. And as a result, we are going to be increasing our wagers. Now, for those that maybe been keeping track since the beginning, we started at 1 unit plays. We bumped it up to 2 unit plays. We've been on 2 unit plays for a while. And now every single play is going to be 3 unit plays until probably the playoffs, in which case we're going to start bumping up to 4 and 5 unit plays. That's as long as we continue to win here. So hopefully we continue to do some damage here to the bookies. Last week was a little bit tough. The only one that I'm kind of really mad about was the Atlanta bet. If the Falcons, we thought we were taking the team that just had more to play for. And my God, like Desmond Ritter with the late INT in the red zone, horrific, just really cost us. Really turned it from what was a decent card for us to just an okay one, right? It could have been a great one though last week. Anyways, I digress. Still hot. We're still doing well. Ready to get back after it. And just with this card as well, there's a lot that I liked on this card. It's just I settled on 6 plays here. We settled on 6 plays, I should say. But there's still more that we're mulling over here as always. So again, follow us on X because we're bound to drop a play or two on this weekend as we progress. But I'm ready to get into the plays, man.
Yes, sir. Let's get into those plays. We mentioned 6 of them. A little bit of a longer intro here, but it is the holiday season. And if you want to give the boys a little Christmas gift, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, follow us on X at TJC Bets, all that good stuff. We appreciate your support. We love you, folks. And without further ado, let's get into our 6 plays, which are spanning over 4 games, double dipping in 2 of them. We'll start with the first of those in Tennessee, where the Seattle Seahawks are traveling.
Yeah, big one here. We kind of interesting with the quarterback situation with this one, which is kind of where the play is driving from. The plays are driving from. Will Levis is trending to be out with an ankle injury. He's logged back-to-back DNPs in practice, and then you have Geno Smith on the other side, who, off the heels of a Drew Lock heroic performance there against Philadelphia in prime time. Geno Smith is back and ready to rock, which means this offense is going to be back and ready to rock against the Tennessee Titans defense, who is not that great. They're not great at all. Ryan Tannehill is probably going to be taking over on the other side. Now, the other thing is the Seattle Seahawks defense isn't overly formidable either. They're actually underperforming from what I expected them to be this season. Having said that, the two plays in this game, Seattle -3 on the road. We are taking the road chalk here because I simply believe this is the better team. Seattle also has a lot to play for in this game. They are fighting for their playoff lives here. They're going to want to put on a show over there in Nashville. And then also we're going to take over 41.5 in this game. Again, both these defenses aren't too great. I'm expecting Seattle to put up a lot of points in here and carry the bulk of this load for us. And then I also expect with Seattle's run defense not being too great, I expect Derrick Henry to hopefully, coming off the worst performance of his career, what I believe on many people's eyes, Derrick Henry I think is going to have a nice bounce back game, sprinkle a little Tajay Spears in there. I know that Treylon Burks is maybe trending towards not playing, but hopefully still have D-Hop there for Ryan Tannehill to throw it to. I think Tennessee will do just enough to push that thing over 41.5. So those are our two plays here.
All right, folks. Well, if you watched the Miami game against Denver earlier this season where they put up a 70, and if at that point I would have told you there'd be a team that would look worse at some point in a game, you would think I was crazy. That is exactly what the LA Chargers did last week when they got pumped by the Vegas Raiders. They're going to be involved in our next play as they are hosting the Buffalo Bills here, Josh.
Yeah, this is going to be short and sweet. You just mentioned they got pumped last week, dude. They're going to get pumped again. Like everything is working against LA here. I mean, the only thing that maybe you could say is working in LA's favor in this is Buffalo is on the road. But we all know that does not matter when you're playing the Chargers because the Chargers draw about 2 fans to every game here. At least that's the joke that we like to run with. Anyways, Buffalo, they are coming off. They are hopefully what we think are galvanized by a massive win against the Dallas Cowboys at home last week. They have now gone from what a lot of people believe are potentially one of the dumpster fires of this league to now, if they put on the show that we're expecting them to put in LA this weekend, they could be very well one of the more scary potential wildcard teams heading into the playoffs this year, and the team that absolutely nobody wants to face. And I expect them to do just that. We're taking Buffalo -12.5. Again, I don't like taking double-digit spreads like this, but just in this case, like Keenan Allen's not playing. Easton Stick is still at the helm. Joey Bosa's not playing even. So even on the defense side of the ball, which already sucked, is now losing its best player on the defensive side of the ball. Like the defense, I don't know how LA is going to stop the Bills, and I don't know how LA is going to score on the Bills. So like I just everything, this is in my mind a perfect storm for the Bills. I don't foresee any kind of a letdown. They have too much to play for in this game. This is a route like through and through. It just has to be. So we're taking Buffalo -12.5 confidently here.
Also see some new coaching systems in there for the Chargers as well that they'll be trying to iron out for that game. Our next plays this is our second double dip here. We have Indianapolis traveling to Atlanta to face the Falcons.
Yeah, so we got the Falcons who just, they burned us last week, as we already talked about. There's going to be a quarterback change here. Speaking of quarterback change, we talked about, Seattle and Tennessee, their quarterback change as well. There's a quarterback change here as well, but this one's for poor performance rather than injury. Desmond Ritter's, for the second time this season, has lost his job to Taylor Heineke, and what I believe is probably going to be the last time here. I don't foresee Desmond Ridder making his way back into the lineup at any point this season. With that being said, Atlanta's offense actually could, in a weird way, get a step up and upgrade in this situation with Taylor Heineke in my mind. I guess that remains to be seen. But Indianapolis at this point, again, kind of similar to the Atlanta game last week. I'm just taking the team here in my mind. I mean, Atlanta has stuff to play for here, I guess, but they got a really outside shot at the playoffs now. So They're battling, but they're effectively, in my mind, eliminated from the playoffs. Indianapolis, meanwhile, is obviously battling for a division title. They got a lot to play for here. So we're going to take Indianapolis plus 2.5 on the road here. You mentioned the double dip. Indianapolis's defense is not great. Atlanta's defense has been playing some relatively easy competition in recent weeks. And so their defense, in my opinion, is probably looking a little bit better than they actually are. Even though, like, we've talked about Atlanta's defense on the show, I am actually a fan of Atlanta's defense and what they have putting together there. But I believe Indianapolis's offense has the advantage in this matchup here. They are cooking right now. I think Indianapolis's offense can actually be fun, and also Jonathan Taylor is a full participant in practice once again. They're getting probably their best player on offense back. Hopefully they can also return to full strength on the offensive line, in which case they should be able to run on the Atlanta Falcons. Gardner Minshew can play complimentary ball, do his thing. And then on the other side of the game, or on the other side of the ball, you got the Atlanta Falcons offense, who hopefully with Taylor Heineke provides a little bit of a spark. And also Indianapolis's run defense is among the worst in the NFL. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and if you want to throw Cordell Patterson into the mix, should have a field day in this one. And although the clock will be ticking because of their run game, they should put up points here. We're also going to take over 44.5 in this game. We think both these offenses are going to push this game over, but we're also taking Indianapolis plus 2.5 because they're the better team. They got more to play for. And yeah, I like them better here. I don't like Arthur Smith. So anyways, let's go to the next one.
Fair. Also worth noting, Michael Pittman was a full participant at practice today, the day we were recording, after taking that pretty gruesome hit last week.
Yeah.
We're going to finish off with the Cleveland Browns facing off with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, this is a number that I'm kind of confused why it's so low still, why it's so close, because CJ Stroud is trending very much. He's probably not going to play. So we got the backup in, and the Houston Texans as a whole, CJ Stroud, it's not even just at the quarterback position. Like we're talking, like the Houston Texans on both sides of the ball are just like they seem like gutted by injuries right now. Like they don't have it. Noah Brown, who actually had a decent game last week, is also hurt. He'll probably play, but I mean, you're gonna have now Denzel Ward like covering him all game. So it's like I think your best weapon potentially is now covered, is erased. Dalton Schultz maybe in the middle. Cleveland defense is they're playing for a ton here. Cleveland defense is going to show it on the road. Defense travels on the road here. Joe Flacco has been slinging it. Like I'm talking Joe Flacco, if you got him in fantasy football, dude's throwing the ball like 44, 45 times a game. It's crazy. And he's finding David Njoku, finding Amari Cooper. The rapport seems to be great there. The running game needs to pick it up a little bit, but they're doing their thing. I think the Cleveland offense is actually turning into something that hopefully they can actually depend upon a little bit here with Joe Flacco at the helm. And the defense is obviously going to do what the defense does here. Cleveland minus 2.5 on the road here. Easy pick for me. I just don't see how Houston's offense is going to be able to fare here. And Cleveland, I just don't think needs to put up a lot of points in order to cover this number. So we're going to take Cleveland minus 2.5 going up against, which is granted what is gutted, but still, a battling defense on Houston's side. But I think Cleveland's going to do their thing.
So there you have it, folks. In typical TJC fashion, a lot of road chalk on this board, and we're looking to keep up the success we've had on these YouTube plays. We've been red hot lately, and we're going to keep this thing rolling for you. So to recap the plays, Cleveland minus 2.5, Indianapolis plus 2.5, and the over 44.5. The Buffalo Bills minus 12.5, Seattle Seahawks minus 3, and the over 41.5 in Seattle at Tennessee. Folks, we appreciate your support in this holiday season. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. It's the best gift you could give the fellas as we look to give you, in particular, 6 gifts this holiday season, folks. On behalf of myself and Josh, we're wishing you the best. Happy, safe holidays to you and your families. We'll see you right here, same time next week. And happy gambling. Let's do it again.